Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our new ERCI webinar. We are tackling the issue of using artificial intelligence for improving services in public transport. My name is Lutz Hübner from Berlin Partner for Business and Technology. We are one of the 18 members of the European Railway Clusters Initiative. This is the general agenda of all of our webinars. We have two presentations from two different regions on this topic of the webinar. We have questions and answers. That means you will have the possibility to put all your questions into the chat, and then if we have enough time, we might deal with all your questions. And at the end of the webinar, there will be some news from the ERCI networks, for instance, ongoing projects, funding opportunities, and next webinars and events. Yeah, ERCI, what is it? It is the Railway Meta Cluster, leading Railway Meta Cluster, covering 18 innovation-driven clusters and their ecosystems operating in 17 European countries. It was created in 2010, and from May 2022, it is a legal entity sitting in Brussels, and it is responsible for about 3,100 companies of the railway value chain. Most of them are small, medium-sized enterprises, and for sure also contacts to the research community. Yeah, what about our services, mainly to small, medium-sized enterprises? It is on partner matchmaking in research and development, on detecting new market opportunities, on enhancing their visibility on the international level, for instance, with the help of our annual ERCI Innovation Awards. It is on discussing innovative topics due to task forces like cybersecurity, multimodal logistics, green and sustainable mobility, and of discussing for sure also more topics. To establish networking opportunities via business trips, fairs, networking events, and webinars and workshops. Yeah, to say something about one of our task force is the Task Force on Green and Sustainable Mobility. Together with the industry, the aim of this task force is to further develop rail into the backbone of sustainable mobility solutions across Europe. And there is a questionnaire, a short survey, only 3 or 4 questions on sustainability of your business, and you can help us to fill in this short questionnaire to give us some idea on what to be discussed in the task force in the future. This survey will be renewed or partly renewed every quarter, and the current survey is to be found by following this link. All of the links, or the main links, will be put into the chat, and yeah, and also our contact data are in the chat. Please do not hesitate to contact us. That leads me to the first presentation, and the first moderator of the first presentation, that is Rico Siegmund from RailS. Rico.
Yeah, thank you, Lutz. Good morning to everybody. My name is Rico Siegmund. I'm from the German-based railway cluster RailS, also a member of ERCI. And I have the honor to introduce our member company, OpenCapacity, with the speaker, Garrett Böhm. First of all, if you have any questions, please use the chat. We will have the Q&A session for this presentation right after it. And yeah, Garrett holds a PhD in persuasive technologies, focusing on novel, innovative products and services to change public transportation. He has over 15 years of experience in human-computer interaction design, engineering, and emerging technologies. His core interests lie in AI, IoT, and big data in public transport to deliver intelligent mobility. Garrett, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Rico. Much appreciated. Yeah, hello everyone. I just probably need to share my slides. Lutz, is that right?
Yeah, please do so.
Gonna do that. Here we go. Can everyone see them?
Yeah.
I just put them in slightly bigger. So, yeah. Thank you so much. My name is Gerrit Böhm. I'm the founder and CEO of OpenCapacity, and we specialize in AI-driven capacity monitoring and forecasting for public transport. First, I would like to ask you this question. Does this look familiar to you? You arrive at a station or at a bus stop, and that train that you want to board is absolutely packed. Wouldn't it be great to know before you travel how busy your bus or train is? And this is exactly what we offer, capacity forecasting. So what is unique about us is that we are sensor agnostic. That means we using any existing data sources that are already available on the public transport vehicles. That could be, for example, on the air pressure suspension, where we use an average human body weight to estimate how many people are on a carriage. And sorry, my doorbell kept on ringing. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that is one sensor, air pressure suspension, where we use an average human body weight to estimate how many people are on a carriage through the weight of people. We always work with the operator or the OEMs to identify what is actually available. Other sensors in more modern trains are, for example, the APC counters, where we count in and outs to kind of estimate, again, how many people are boarding and alighting a train. One sensor that is very often overlooked, but with the movement of AI becomes more in the center, is CCTV. So using computer vision to detect objects being people in that case, to count how many people are in a carriage using computer vision. So on this level is where we is the data acquisition layer. So we work, again, like I said, with the operators or the OEMs to identify what is available. Sometimes we combine the sensors to enhance the accuracy, because every sensor itself has a certain error. But by combining maybe 2 or 3 sensors, if available, we can enhance the level of accuracy of counting, because you want to get as good as possible, so that you then later have a better chance of predicting it to a high level. On the next level is where we add the intelligence to it. So we create a digital twin of the physical network. So you have to imagine, like, each stop is a node, and we look at what kind of factors at each station have an impact on the capacity, looking at events, for example, that could be weather, like weather data, but also events like football events and concerts at certain stations, but also network-related events, such as delays and cancellation, and see what impact they have on the capacity by looking at the data historically, learn from it, learn certain patterns, movement patterns at these particular stations, and feed it into a model to train it to be able to recognize when a certain pattern occurs, and then be able to predict it. So at this point, we then provide an API to the operators to kind of access our data very easily. They can put it on their existing dashboards or mobile phones or operational screens, dashboards that they use for analyzing the data. Here are some examples I would like to share. On the top right is an example from S-Bahn Stuttgart, where we worked with another company together, Siut. They designed the leuchtende Bahnsteigkante, so the glowing lighting edge of the platform. In that case, we used video analytics to count the people and then send the data to the light up concrete, to be able to tell them how busy the carriages are, but also the positioning of the doors. That was the first pilot that we did with S-Bahn Stuttgart. And from that point onwards, there was some changes of what kind of the way they want to count, what they want to use. They decided to install APC counters, or automatic passenger counters, which is absolutely fine because we are sensor agnostic. Now we had the ability to count in and outs, but also they didn't install it between carriages, so it's an open system, so people move between carriages while the train is moving. In that case, we used Wi-Fi to be able to identify how, even though we just count in and out, but we can determine where people stand using the Wi-Fi data. I will show an example later in the slides for S-Bahn Stuttgart in particular. Here you can see how it is looking right now in Stuttgart. So they're putting it on the displays. The picture is very small, but you can see on the right side the little icons. You measure like a battery style icons, how busy the trains are on their network. The use case here is more for passengers. People can plan ahead by knowing how busy the trains will be, and even by just shifting 10% of the people, those who are flexible, to either side of this morning peak and afternoon peak, that will reduce the peaks and has also an impact on the performance in return. So just by showing or giving this information to the passengers has an impact on the performance. But not everyone is so flexible. They can, go later or earlier on certain trains. They have to travel, and those who have to travel, showing the information on the platform, like here in this example, or in the Stuttgart example, helps them to distribute them better along the platform, knowing where a space will be available once the train is arriving. Now, here I also have to add the element of machine learning, and predicting the available space is key. So if you imagine yourself standing at a platform, you measure in real time that the next incoming train, the second carriage, is, for example, 100% full. We would know from our models, from the history that we learned, that at that particular time, to this particular weather condition, maybe 2 minutes delayed, 80% of people will get off at this stop where you're standing. So the second carriage would be only 20% occupied by the time you are boarding. So this kind of enhanced or situational awareness or predicted capabilities is very key for this kind of use case as well. On the other hand, operators are using this data for to enhance their understanding of how their vehicles are used historically, but also looking at how they will be used throughout the day, so that the disposition team can make more informed decisions of how to run the services at certain days. They can analyze which hotspots, which trains will be most likely overcrowded, and try to proactively mitigate this from happening. And also mid to long term, they can better plan their rolling stock in terms of supply and demand. Know, okay, we need to run different train formations at different times to match that that demand at certain times. Also, they can optimize their timetable by better understanding the actual usage of trains. This was us in a brief overview. I just wanted to highlight the key elements of what we do. Again, we're sensor agnostic, been working with loads of different sensors, and it really is always the first approach we do is with talking to the operators to see what they have, and we always find 1 or 2 sensors to actually able to count the passengers to a certain level, I have to add to this point, it also depends on what their use case is. If they want to use the counting capabilities for showing red, green, amber, how full a train is, then you don't need to count to 100% accurate, because you're reducing the target to like buckets of 30%, 30%, or 33%, 33%, 30% of these three, red, green, and amber. So what our core how do you say it, domain knowledge is about big data, machine learning, and AI to utilize this in a applied way for predicting capacity. So that is also where we see ourselves as the pioneers, which is showing with the patent that we actually have been granted to us for that. The kind of concept what we're doing with sensor agnostic, using sensors that are sensible, so using sensors that are sensible to measuring the capacity of vehicles, sensitive to the presence of people. So it's very unique in that sense. And yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit of traction. We started in the rail industry here in the UK. But this technology is applicable to public transport in general. So buses, we're already working with TfL London to provide our solution. We have a lot of traction in Germany. I'm originally from Germany, but the company was founded here in the UK. I think in general, this type of solution has been, let's say, put in the forefront of people's minds since COVID. Before COVID, it was a nice to have. Now it's more like we want to, first of all, the operators want to know, and the passengers as well want to know how busy the trains are. And since then, we have seen a really uptake in the technology, especially in the German market. It's really, we're having right now 200 trains and 130 more coming in 2026. I mentioned that S-Bahn Stuttgart was a use case I wanted to show to kind of further narrow it down of what we do and maybe help to show it in pictures. So here was it a little bit bigger. You can see here the little icons. They can see the level of how crowded each carriage is. The feedback from passengers and Deutsche Bahn is that maybe a little bit of color could be added to be more quicker to recognize how full the capacity is. I have to say it's not in our control, the colors. So Deutsche Bahn, S-Bahn Stuttgart is looking into adding the colors there. There was a design choice in the initial stages from S-Bahn Stuttgart to go with this theme, which is from a consortium called Brain, where they decided, okay, that would be the best way back then to present it, but since then there was iteration, so there's movement. So S-Bahn Stuttgart will add some colors at some point as well to quicker see how crowded the trains are. Just about how we're doing it in S-Bahn Stuttgart, I mentioned we have the AFZ counters or APC counters in English, where we count in and outs. But because it's an open system, people can walk through the carriages while the train is traveling. We use Wi-Fi to estimate how many people are actually in each carriage. So we have these access points, and by knowing the response time of between device and access point, we then can estimate if where it's located closer to this access point here, closer to this access point there, or there, and we can estimate how many people are in it. And it works quite well. The solution allows us to deliver the solution for the whole network while they keep on adding more APC counters through the different fleet. So the 420 fleet has been all fitted, but unfortunately it takes time to fit these APC counters. So we're getting to full capacity soon, and then we only use Wi-Fi for distribution, not as well as measuring. Here's a little example where we see this is now taken in the retrospect. You have to imagine this. It's the journey of a train, and at each station there's a point where we took a measure. So this line is now for visual, so it can present it for presenting purposes taken historically, but it would not be there. It would be only our line that is predicted. So as soon as the train starts, we create a line that predicts the capacity. And for visual purposes, we can see how close we actually get to the actual, which is the thicker line, not the dotted line. I wanted to show you. So the train starts, we predict the capacity for the remaining stations. And every time we get a new measure point, which is usually after the train leaves a station, we give them another line of predictions and so forth. So the train travels along the line and we keep on predicting the capacity. And as you see, it gets very close to the actual actual capacity that was on this journey. Yeah, so that is us. I hope I was not too fast when I spoke, and sorry about the doorbell. It kept on distracting me in the beginning.
Thank you, Gerrit. Lutz, can you take over for the Q&A session? So again, if you have any questions, you can put a question in the chat, and we will take this question here live on the board. So the first question I have, what type of sensors or data sources can be used to measure capacity on vehicles?
I mentioned there's many. We have been working with air pressure suspensions to measure how heavy a train is. We've been using CCTV cameras where we do real-time object detection to count how many people are in a carriage. With TFL, we also count how many buggies or wheelchairs are in a bus. More modern trains come with the APC counters to count in and outs. So there's a big variety. Wi-Fi would be one. If some buses might have or trains have Wi-Fi, but nothing else. You can use either login data, so people that are logged into the Wi-Fi, or probe requests. So that is a different way of looking at how many mobile and Wi-Fi enabled devices looking for the Wi-Fi, and so that's called probe request. So you can see that's how many mobile Wi-Fi enabled devices are on it. It's endless. So we've done also some sensor testing of seat sensors. It's a very good way of measuring on a seat level, but the costs are quite high for operators to install at each seat a sensor. We're working with other company that installs sensors on top over the seats, so it's less cost, and it uses infrared to kind of see if some of the seats are occupied. So yeah, in terms of measure capabilities, it's endless. It depends on the use case you want to do. If you want to really know how many people are on each seat, and maybe on these certain trains where you want to where you have a longer journey and people can book a seat for a certain journey, then it's good to know, okay, from A to Z, from A to Z, or from A to B, the seat is booked, but then afterwards it's not booked. You can resell that same ticket again after C or B. So then on a seat level, it would make sense because you have a business case. You can sell the ticket more often. And then we can also show how busy the trains are. So it really depends on what the use cases are.
Okay, thank you. Second question, which is the percentage of mistake in counting the passengers?
I think it depends on the on what sensors are you using. With the APC counters, they argue that they're up to 98, some say 99% accurate in terms of counting in and out. It's fantastic. There's some other issues with allocating them. If you only counted doors, like I mentioned, if you counted between carriages, these sensors are quite good in the counting capabilities. And there's many suppliers that have these APC counters, so that's good. With video analytics, it's actually, because of all the movement in AI, it's getting very good detecting using video, and I would say by default, we're getting like a 90% accuracy. That is was just on our default model. But what we always do is working with the operators to get footage from the inside of the carriages, from the inside of the buses, to increase the accuracy. So we achieved a 92%. That was only by training it on a small set of data that was with TFL. So we increased it to 92. And if we rerun it again, this kind of more footage, we can increase it to 95. So we're getting there. So it's I think it's like I said, an overlooked sensor, but nowadays it's quite good. Load weight data has its ups and downs as well, because not everyone weighs the same. It was an average of 80 kilograms. Some people put luggage, bicycles. So I think that sensor is less accurate. But it also depends on, if you only want to show red, green, and amber, then you don't have to count to 100% accuracy. So 80% would be sufficient, I would say, as well. So it's it really depends, and you have to keep the error in mind. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question: how is the privacy impacted, and how the passengers are GDPR protected?
Yeah. So I think with all these APC counters, there's no real issue. Like it's only like the counts as people count in and out, and nothing is like sent off the train. Even with the CCTV video analytics, the software runs on the train. We don't send off footage. We only send off counts. So in that respect, it's protected. And if we do a training phase, we use like a software that anonymizes the footage, but to a degree that we still can use it for training purposes. So it's like almost like deep fake. So you would imagine me, but it wouldn't look like me because it's this anonymous filter over it. And you cannot reverse engineer it. You cannot go back once, cannot reconstruct it and get it out of it again. It would be that person that looks like a person, but it's not really that is the kind of software we run first, and then we use that to train the models. So it's all in the GDPR protected. Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. Next question. Did you receive support from organizations like Catapult or Network Rail in getting your product started? And were you on any accelerators or partnership programs?
Yes. So we were working with the Transport System Catapult, I think now Digital Catapult, and the other one is called something Spaces Catapult. We have to think about it. They changed the name. But yeah, we've been in some programs with them where we showcased our technology. The recent one was in the Bridge AI, also delivered by the Catapult. I think it was a Digital Catapult. So yeah, we're working with these organizations. Yeah, so we got there some support with pilots to showcase, but also like the Bridge AI to make links to TFL and showcase our solution. Accelerators, we've done a few. I think the one that was the most uptake afterwards, because they're all great in itself, the accelerator, but the uptake sometimes what happens afterwards was with the DB Mindbox, which then helped us to work with S-Bahn Stuttgart, with the in Frankfurt. So it helped really to kind of get there. But yeah, I think the accelerators are always great. So I would say that's our partnership programs, I guess. We did also Vira in the UK. That was also very helpful. Yeah.
And at the end, over DB Mindbox, we learn each other, and you will be member of our cluster.
Absolutely. exactly.
Okay, are there any other questions? If this is not the case, then I will hand over to our second moderator, and Daniel from our Catalan cluster will introduce our second speaker.
Thank you, Rico. Thank you, Jared, and for your interesting presentation. And thank you, Rico, for the introduction. Just a brief introduction from my side. I'm Daniel Fernandez. I'm project manager at the Move by Rail Group, multimodal logistics and mobility cluster based in Barcelona. And our second speaker is Tony Parada from aggity, a cluster member of ours. Aggity is a Spanish multinational technology company. They offer digital transformation and smart factory solutions for the mobility sector, among other sectors. Tony is country manager at Aggity, and Tony has extensive experience in customer experience management and digitalization, focusing on data technology as key drivers of business competitiveness. So if any questions arise during the presentation, please feel free to use the chat function. And nothing more from my side. Tony, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Good morning. As Daniel was saying, I'm Tony Parada, country manager of aggity, a multinational consulting firm. And I think I need to share my screen, so hold on a second.
Try it again. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So let me start with a fundamental question. What if we could transform every camera already installed in our public transport vehicles into an intelligent sensor? That's the one of a very important question. What if we could extract real-time insights from infrastructure that's already there without adding new a single piece of new hardware? So that's what AI for PT does. It's a solution based on computer vision that has as a main objective to count passengers. We will see that it's only one of the key aspects of the solution, and analyze the behavior to optimize the operation. So at the end of the day, what we seek is to optimize the operation, improve the user experience, and not only that, but help operators to ensure regulatory compliance. How does the solution do that? By analyzing images from video. We will, as I was stating on the initial question, we based our AI for public transport bases the solution on current assets that it's installed on every bus. Who is it for? Is it designed mainly for passengers? Of course, at the end of the day, what the solution looks for is to improve customer satisfaction. But not only that, it is designed for public transport companies and operators. The solution is installed right now in buses, but it's obviously the use case works in trains, metros, and trams. And also, it is designed for public administrations. How do we help these different stakeholders? for passengers, which are the ones that matter most. We improve the passenger experience. Every day, millions of people rely on public transport. They go to school, to visit their families, to travel abroad, and too often their experience is marked by uncertainty and frustration. You get to the bus stop and the bus is completely full, or you get into that and you see that it's dirty, so, or with broken assets. AI for PT changes this fundamentally. Imagine that you're a commuter and you want to go to your work. You can check your transit app, and the transit app will tell you the next bus is coming in 7 minutes, but it's completely full. And then it says that in 15 minutes you have another one that is completely empty, or that has available seats. So you can take decisions now based on data, based on information that the system is providing to you. For operators, basically the system will allow operators to take decisions based on data, and these decisions will be optimizing the service. The idea is that you can decide if you need to put bigger bus or a smaller one, depending on the capacity that or the people that is waiting on the bus stop. So you can take decisions and optimize the service based again on data. And finally, for the public institutions, you will take decisions as well based on data, and that's very important for the sustainable urban mobility plans that as public institutions have to make. So with having information on mobility on your city or on your region, and having this information based on data that you collect from different systems, will allow to take these decisions completely based on data. So in numbers, right now, AI for PT is installed in more than 2,000 buses, has already analyzed the behavior of 4.5 million passengers, and is taking information from more than 10,000 cameras. Mostly of them are cameras that are connected to the CCTV system. So the system converts the CCTV cameras into sensors, and that's a very important word, because it allows the system to collect all this data, all data on passenger and a bus on bus capacity and situation, and with all this data, without adding new hardware, you will be able to know the behavior and know how many people is on every bus at every minute. If we take a look at the feature or use cases, obviously the first one and the most important one is passenger counting, and that's the cornerstone of the system. Everything else is based on passenger counting, and also in the capability that artificial vision brings now with neural networks and the capacity that you have, compute capacity. The traditional counting methods are based on sensors that are installed on doors usually, and they are very sensitive to vibration and to malperform, to misfunction. With AI for PT, as we connect with the CCTV system, it's already relying on assets that are very stable, that are proof from vibration, and that are already there and functioning for security reasons. So getting an accuracy of 95 to 98%, depending on the deployment, is just even better than the usual counting methods. What can you do with the passenger counting use case? Adjusting the frequency and capacity of vehicles. That means reduction of overcrowding, reduction of waiting time at the stops as well, and improving your responsiveness to passenger needs. You will be better on adapting to the passenger needs. Also, the system is capable of counting who boards and disembarks at any stops. So with this information, you can do foresee of mobility trends that will help on optimizing the overall system. You can manage demand peaks during events or emergencies, and again, you can optimize the vehicle usage and number of vehicles that you have on the street. That links to the matrix, origin destination matrix that you can build on this data. With all these data that you collect, you can have the complete journey, and that allows not only the operators but also the cities and the regions to understand the mobility flows. That's very important because so far, and with many other systems, you base the decisions and the understanding of mobility flows just based on experience and based on people that know the system, know the lines for a long time. With that, you formulate the strategies based on data, not on knowledge that might be biased. That will help to base the decision on real data. Another benefit, just all the three different use cases that we presented so far are based on the number of people that is basically on the system, on the bus or on the carriage, and is counting who enters, who gets out, but at the end of the day was counting people. With allowing adding the computer vision, you can detect other patterns, like, for example, behavioral analysis. And then the system will help you to prevent fights or dangerous situations in the bus, and even prepare a real-time alert to authorities. You can detect alcohol or drugs use on the bus as well. Damaged seats or any other equipment that is damaged. Also, you can detect driver distraction, thefts. Again, the CCTV that usually is used just for when something happens. So you want to look into the past. Now becomes a real-time CCTV really sensor that is capable of in real time to notifications to authorities or to the operator if needed. Also, you can identify people that is not using the right tariff or that are not paying the ticket, that are entering and that not pay the ticket, and that obviously contributes to reduce the fraud detection. So for operators, enhances the sustainability of the lines. Also, it can help you to identify the seat occupancy. So you can have rates in real time of the seats that are occupied or available, and therefore notify users in advance. That can be, here we say that can be displayed on the information boards, but obviously can be pushed to a mobility app so that the user will have information on his or her hands before taking the decision to jump into a bus. Very important, linked to the previous one, control of the person with reduced mobility zones. What if somebody puts a bicycle there or blocks this or just sits in this area? You need to be able to react, and also it's important to inform people that needs these facilities, that the facilities are free or occupied, so that you can uphold their rights, the rights of people with special conditions. Also, not only controlling the inside of the bus, but also being able to control what happens at the stops. So with this system, with AI for PT, you will be able to identify waiting time at the stops. So you will be capable of adaptive frequency and capacity of the vehicles based on the waiting time that you detect on every stop. And again, it improves the customer satisfaction, because you reduce by improving the service, you reduce the time that people is standing on the stop. Vehicle condition. Right now, you need to wait until the end of the service to go and inspect the vehicle. Not only that, the maintenance service, the cleaning service, is usually based on a FIFO queue. So the first thing is the one that is served. Why not change that and start with the one that is dirtier, that needs more service, so that you make sure that every bus is ready by the end of the maintenance window. So this is the type of optimization that you can get, having the right information, having the right data available for you. And not only that, but also related to that one, the capacity to identify missing items and items that could be dangerous. So you can again link that to if the system identifies dangerous items, can be linked to the authorities, so that everybody has a safer trip inside the vehicle. And that's another let's say additional feature. As the system relies on the CCTV cameras, the system becomes the most important detection system for broken or visually impaired cameras. Again, as I said before, you usually use the CCTV system after something has happened, and you want to review that. Usually, you're not using the system in real time, because you have like 10,000 cameras. You cannot check all the cameras. So it's very important that in the moment that you need the images, all the system performs in the most in the best way possible. The AI for PT makes sure that all the cameras are functioning because it collects data from all the cameras. And if some camera is not getting the right images or the data, it will be pushed to the CCTV control so that in the next maintenance window, this camera can be replaced or cleaned or whatever it needs to be done. And adding, if you add sensors to the system, it becomes a system that helps you on the predictive maintenance, so that you can monitor the condition of the vehicles and adjust the maintenance window based on the real damage that the vehicle has, instead of having a plan that quite often is very inefficient. I was saying that the system is based on the CCTV cameras. It has a very flexible deployment. It can be linked to your control room, to the system that you have on your CCTV system, so that nothing is needed, just an integration with the system that you already have, and all the hardware will be there and will be available. And but there's also the option of installing it on what is called edge computing, which is recollecting all the data in the bus and transmitting the data directly to the cloud system, to the AI for PT cloud system, directly from the bus, instead of recollecting the data from the control room system, from the CCTV system. Just as a summary, real-time operational optimization, reduced overcrowding and waiting times, knowing the level of how the buses are crowded will reduce the overcrowdiness, because people can adapt. You can control tariff fraud. You get more intelligence on your current CCTV system. So your current CCTV system is improved as well. And you have also the possibility to have the predictive maintenance. And that's all as from the presentation side. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for the presentation, the interesting solution you have been developing in aggity. My camera's on. Yeah, here. So, Lutz, I believe you will share the slide with the Q&A.
Yeah, I did
because
it.
I think now it's
Can you see
now
it?
we should move into a short round of questions that we have prepared. So, Tony, yeah, the benefits are clear after your presentation, but I would like to know, what are some of the quick wins operators can expect when they start applying AI solutions, such as AI for PT in public transport?
I guess the main one is the ability to take decisions based on data instead of instinct, or sometimes on the experience of people, but basically on instinct, and then you can take decision based on data. That will help to optimize your service as an operator. And not only that, you will be able to optimize your service without investment on new hardware. That also simplifies the adoption of the system, because you don't need to add anything new on the buses. And so it becomes a purely IT integration project. So optimization is key, but then it's also an important aspect sometimes for having a better position to compete with tenders, for example. When you compete, if you are using this technology, you will have an asset that that is providing very important information for the institutions, so it can become something key for the operator to compete on tenders, for example.
Okay. So, in your view, what are the main strengths of AI for PT, or the added value, mainly of AI for PT?
The added value is that first of all is full range of use cases. So it's not only counting people and all the use cases that benefit from knowing the people and behavior, but then you have other cases that are leveraged by the computer vision, like for example, seats occupancy, the condition of the bus, what happens on the bus station. So all these use cases that go beyond counting people, it's one of the main strengths of AI for PT. The next one, I would say the flexible deployment mode. Like you can choose getting everything based on your CCTV control room, or you can decide go for a deeper installation, let's say, and having edge computing. So it's very flexible, but the beauty of how simple it is to put it on to make it work is one of the strengths. Yeah, I would say those are the main strengths.
Okay. And someone in the chat raised an interesting question about if there's any risk of a potential cybersecurity attack, and it would be interesting to know how is aggity addressing this concerns, which is always a possibility.
Absolutely. For sure. Everything that's everything that runs on a computer right now is eventually can suffer a cybersecurity attack. Let's say that the data that it's collected is completely anonymized and destroyed after the analysis. So we take the information from the cameras, from the different systems. Every image is analyzed, completely anonymized. It gets an identifier that cannot link back not only with the image, but cannot link back to any personal data whatsoever. So the information there is purely statistic. And again, the information is, the images are completely destroyed after the analysis. What aggity is doing on this? First of all, the system is secure by design, so security is by design, and secondly, we apply the usual security systems that needs to be put in place for such these applications.
Weird. Is there any other questions that someone would like to ask using the chat tool right now?
Not in the chat right now, but you have the opportunity to raise your hand and simply open your micro and ask questions for this presentation and also for the presentation before. Wait some seconds. For sure, during the webinar, you have every time the chance to put something into the chat. And as soon as we presenting something, you have the chance to ask further questions. I have a further question to you, Tony. Your main market is in Spain, or are you also active on international level? Because this is a European event here, and so I guess the question is quite natural to ask.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Lutz. Actually, our main market right now is in Italy, in the Bologna, Parma, and Modena area. And yeah, we look to expand internationally in Europe. So I think that makes perfect sense to be here in this event.
Yeah, are you only focused in Europe for your application cases, or also beyond Europe?
Right now in Europe, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, thank you all of you at first for these interesting presentations. Thank you, Rico and Daniel, for the moderation. And I think it's worth to mention that aggity was one of the solution providers of the last EDLS Hack and Match event number 3 on advanced technologies for energy savings. Guido will later come on to announce something new on EDLS activities. So please hold the line and look what we can offer you as opportunity to be active or to contribute. So first, our little request, as we have every time during or after each webinar, is to fill in our very short feedback questionnaire. The main interesting point for us is for sure to learn something about innovative solutions you intend to present during one of our next ERCI webinars, or if you have some topics that you feel interesting, so that we could consider it for future ERCI webinars. The links will be in the chat as usual. The recordings of the webinars, as usual, will be visible in some days after the webinar at the YouTube channel of the former STARS project. InMove is always very helpful to install the upload link or to provide a download link to see the recording. So just can announce you the next ERCI webinar. It will be the first one in 2026. It is also an AI-driven topic, but not for public transport, more for the rail infrastructure monitoring, and it will take place on the 21st of January in 2026. We will have there a presentation from Germany, and we have a presentation from a Canadian company, which are not only present in Canada, because 10 o'clock Central European time would be for Canada very early. They have found another solution on that. So then, yeah, events. What are the next events we want to share with you? For sure, the ERCI Innovation Awards, already mentioned. It will be in 2026. It will be awarded during the InnoTrans fair, and that means the time between the 22nd and the 25th of September next year. Before there will be nominations by the ERCI member clusters for the European contest. That is the second stage. And the precondition to get the ERCI member clusters enforced to nominate applications is that you apply at your national or regional level at your responsible cluster organization, or you are mostly in touch with, to give them the chance chance to make the best choice of the incoming applications for the European contest. So the picture is showing the result of the last ERCI Innovation Award ceremony in Milan in 2025. So international activities, brand new, and the opportunity is very very dense, and the expressions of interest should be addressed already until Friday, because the time is running. We are preparing a delegation trip as well as a joint booth at the Tracks Rain Day 2026 in Toronto. It's not the cheapest event. We have to face that on the 7th of June is also a FIFA World Cup football game in Toronto, so the prices are not low anyway, but we feel that it could be a good opportunity for you to be part of it. So second is also related to Northern America. We will be present also with a joint booth, and we will also organize kind of business mission delegation during the railway interchange. We will present at the Remsa area again as ERCI from the 2nd to the 4th of June. At the railway interchange in Omaha, Nebraska, and therefore you have some days more time to express your interest until the 30th of January. So funding opportunities. There are also some old slides and some new slides. The older ones are the one dealing with the current Open Europe's Rail calls. They will close at 11th February. There are open topics for the flagship area projects, the bigger ones, and the smaller ones, which are on exploratory research. These are these 4 topics mentioned here at the end of the slide, with a volume not bigger than 1 million euros. So ERCI will also contribute to one and another topic. And if you have an idea on what to do within these topics, please do not hesitate to contact us. So, Horizon Europe, there is the running work program 2025. We have identified maybe some interesting topics to you. These 4 mentioned. The deadline is very dense. It's already the 20th of January, but we have also already to announce some activities within the work program 2026 and 2027 that is brand new. There will be at mid of January a brokerage event organized by the European Union on the Horizon Europe Cluster 5 Climate, Energy and Mobility new work program for 2026 and 2027. It will be on the 14th of January. The registration for the brokerage event will be until the 7th of December. That will be an online brokerage event, and the day after will be the info day, which gives you some ideas on the upcoming work program 2026 and 2027. And there is already existing a pre-publication of the work program 2026 and 2027. And by following the last link here, you will find that PDF at the internet. So there are also already work programs within Horizon Europe for 2026 and 2027 dealing with missions and new European Bauhaus facility, and the European Rail Research Advisory Council picked up 4 opportunities, which has a good chance to include also rail-related topics. and these 4 topics are on the screen. And as you can see, the deadlines differ from 20th January 2026 until the 1st of December 2027. The topics on 2027 are not being open. They will be open in 2027. There will be one topic open in May next year, but the current open topic is only the first one. We also put here the information on the funding scheme, the innovation action with up to 70% for the industry funding, the total budget, and the expected number of projects to be funded with each of these core topics. So projects, therefore I will hand over to my colleague Guido Accarani from DTEC FAIR, our Italian partner cluster, and Guido is at the same time the operations director of ERCI. Guido.
Thank you very much, Lutz. I will explain quickly what we are doing in 2 European projects. The first one is LEADER 2030. It will end in March 2026. And this project is very interesting and has been really appreciated also during the World Congress Rail Research in Colorado Springs last month, where we presented the coordinator, ERCI, through my colleague Veronica Bocci, presented the result and some measures and the work done in order to contribute to give more strength to the resilience of European supply chain in raw material and electronic devices, while we are thinking which will be the difficulties to be faced in the near future in 2030, when we will have to build whatever has been defined in the Europe's rail research and development projects. While if raw material are missing, the research is good but cannot be implemented. So this is the aim of this exploratory project, LEADER 2030, where ERCI is the coordinator, but we have also the mining cluster in Saxony, JKZ, the Railway Institute of Valenciennes in France, and Technopark Istanbul in Turkey. Next slide. Yes, this is just a slide where we promote what we have been able to do in this project, and what is interesting is to follow the result of the project and contribute in order to see which are the suggestions that we will give to the Commission in the near future through Europe's Rail Joint Undertaking. Next slide, please. The second project that I would like on which I would like to say something is Idealist. It's a pleasure to see that aggity was aggity was one of the solution providers in the Hack and Match. It's a project, this one, helping SMEs in tackling supply chain disruption and the usage of advanced technologies, the 14 that we have seen listed by the European Commission, AI, machine learning, big data, IoT, and whatever you want to put on this list is already established. We are trying to help SMEs, and we will do it until November 2026. You see in the bottom of the slide the way in which you can be connected to the project. And next slide, please, Lutz. One of the activity are the Hack and Match. So we have already done 3 over the 5 foreseen in the project. And the next one, I would like to promote it, is concerning manufacturing industries and advanced technologies for manufacturing. So can you imagine that we will have additive manufacturing, advanced robotics, autonomous system, and the planning, the schedule is on the right-hand side, where since mid-January we will collect challenges. So we will ask big and small companies to express challenges in this talk, covering this topic of advanced technologies for manufacturing. And then we will collect solution, while the 1st and 2nd of April, we will have the 2 days of the real I can match, and then certainly we will have a awarding ceremony with one winner and one coup de cœur team, which will be appreciated by an international technical jury. Next slide. The second big activity of this Idealist project is called LEX, Learning Expedition. We still have one foreseen in June 2026. It will occur in Nantes, and the topic is, again, additive manufacturing and hybrid processes. So we try to have this continuation from the I can match to the next, having topic related to advanced technologies. And I invite particularly SMEs to come to Nantes. Vouchers are foreseen in order to pay part of the expenses for travel and accommodation cost. It's an invitation to have you on board, also because we are, during those 2 days, we are organizing very interesting visits, Airbus, but not only, just to indicate one of what we are able to organize in that area, and this will be mid of June. So with this, I think that I have finished my presentation and give back the floor to Lutz. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Guido. There's a bit loud here in Berlin, but that is a sign to come to an end of this webinar. Again, the next ERCI webinar will be on the 21st of January. On AI-driven rail infrastructure monitoring. The registration is already open. So, yeah, thank you very much for your attention, and for sure, I have to wish, or not I have to, but from my very heart, and also I guess from the heart of my ERCI cluster colleagues, I wish you very Merry Christmas time and a good start into the new year, and hopefully a healthy and successful new year, and hopefully peaceful. And thank you very much for your attention. And for sure, we would be very pleased to receive your feedback. If you're not doing so, you will get no gifts for Christmas. So we encourage you to do so. The time is about 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you very much, and have a nice time, and see you soon. Bye bye.